Different world, same resolve.
Hello everyone, welcome to What If Deku Got Reborn in Demon Slayer World movie. Before we start, please go support Son Goku 384 for writing that awesome fanfic. This is the translated version I made. There will be some mistake in character's gender, but of course Deku is a male. Prologue chapter, What Happened? The narrator narrates. We began with a very destroyed panorama that looked as if it had been destroyed by a nuclear war. Thunder and lightning came out of the ground. Darkness flooded the whole place, but in brief flashes of light and rain, dead people could be seen all over the place due to the war unleashed in the area. A nightmare of a kind, but among all that, a green-haired boy could be seen watching everything with horror, sadness, and absolute nostalgia. End of the narration. Izuku, how did we end up like this? He asked sadly, almost shedding a tear. In the real world. Izuku, what happened? Where am I? The green-haired boy asked, looking at the place where he was. It was a cabin on a mountain and it seemed to be snowing outside. Izuku, what is this place? Said the green-haired boy calmly, looking at the place where he was on a futon bed. Oh, I see you're awake now. Are you okay, friend? Said a red-haired man who seemed to be seriously ill, calmly looking at the boy. Izuku, yes, and are you? The green-haired boy asked, looking at the older boy in confusion. Tanjiro, oh of course my name is Kamado Tanjiro, and what's yours, young man? Said the older man, looking at the green-haired man and making eye contact with him. Izuku, oh well, my name is Midoriya Izuku. Said the green-haired boy, but with a somewhat low voice because for some strange reason he had a sore throat that made it a little difficult for him to speak for now. Tanjiro, well, don't overexert yourself too much because you're badly injured. It's as if someone or something attacked you, so rest a little. Said the older redhead very calmly before leaving the place. Izuku, yes, I understand, thank you for helping me, really thank you very much, Mr. Kamado, said the green-haired boy, giving him a reassuring smile. Tanjiro, okay, when you're fully recovered, go to the living room by the right door so we can talk more in depth, said the red-haired man, leaving the place and leaving the green-haired man alone. Izuku, he said with a sigh. 10 minutes later. Izuku, alright, let's see what's going on, said the green-haired boy, heading towards the living room. He opened the door and found the Kamado family. Imagine that Tanjiro is a girl. Oh hello, I see you're awake, my name is Sumiko Kamado, said the redhead, looking at him with a smile and giving Izuku a small souvenir. Izuku, hello, nice to meet you, Kamado-san, my name is Izuku Midoriya, said the green-haired boy, looking at her and giving her a reassuring protagonist smile. Sumiko, welcome with us and take a seat so we can all get to know each other better, said the blushing redhead as she walked towards her family. Izuku, yes, I'd also like to know how I got here, said the green-haired boy, following her, and the two of them took a seat in the living room next to each other. Tanjiro, well, you're wondering how you got here, right? Said the red-haired man, then received a nod from the green-haired man. Izuku, yes, please tell me what happened, because I don't understand how I got here, the green-haired boy asked, not really understanding anything about the situation. What, you don't know what happened to you, do you? Said a confused adult woman with black hair, looking at him. Izuku, hi, I don't remember anything before this, I'm so sorry, I know it's not an explanation, but I need you to understand that I don't remember my past life, and said the green-haired boy, almost crying, before being hugged by a girl of 9 or 10 years old with red eyes like her father and black hair like her mother. It doesn't matter where you come from, or what you don't remember from your past life, what matters is that you're safe, said the black-haired girl, looking at him innocently as she hugged him to comfort him. Izuku, haha, you're right, thank you, asked the green-haired boy, wiping away the small tears that had sprung up from his eyes, looking at her face and asking her name. That's my name, Kamado Hanako, said the happy black-haired girl. My name is Kamado Kai, this is my husband Kamado Tanjiro, and these are my sons Kamado Takeo, Shidru, and lastly the youngest and my 2 older daughters Kamado Sumiko, Nezuko, and Rokuta Kamado, said the woman very calmly, giving him a smile. Izuku, it was a pleasure, said the green-haired boy, bowing to the Kamado family, who were slightly embarrassed by his actions. Nezuko, a bow is not necessary, Midoriya-san, said the other black-haired girl, looking at him nervously with a drop of sweat on the back of her neck. Izuku, I'm so sorry, said the green-haired boy, apologizing and returning to his seated position in the living room. Takeo, hey, I'd like to know exactly what you're, well, if you remember when they found you, you had serious injuries, you looked like you'd been in a battle, and you also had this stored in your backpack, said the black-haired man calmly, showing him a weapon unknown to all of them. Izuku, unfortunately I don't know, but if I remember I'll be able to explain it to you immediately, he said, looking at the weapon with absolute nostalgia in his eyes, but when he touched it, it disintegrated and joined the green-haired boy, still retaining his arm and hand. It was like a kind of gauntlet or exoskeleton on his hand and very resistant to water and rust. Shidru, wow, that's amazing, Midoriya-san, said the boy with stars in his eyes. Rokuta, it's impressive, Izuku-san, said the younger Kamado, just like his brother on Nezuko's back. Izuku, thank you, he said, not very sure what happened but still maintaining his protagonist's smile. Sumiko/Nezuko, watching the scene, their hearts racing as they saw the green-haired girl treating her little brothers as if they were her own. Izuku, well, thanks for your help, but I have to go. I wouldn't want to be a burden to all of you, so goodbye, said the green-haired boy, getting up from his position and trying to leave, grabbing his backpack with his things. Kai, hey, what happened? Did we do something wrong? The woman asked, worried about the young man. Izuku, no, it's just that I don't want to be a burden, and don't worry about me, I can take care of myself, said the green-haired boy calmly, showing her a smile. Kai, hey, but it could be dangerous to go out in your current state, and you're not a bother or a burden to us, said the older black-haired woman. Izuku, but said the green-haired boy, only to be interrupted by the older red-haired boy. Tanjiro, don't worry, young Izuku, you're not a bother at all, and we already consider you another member of the Kamado family, said the man, smiling at Izuku. Izuku, hey, what happened to you? Said the green-haired boy, wondering that ever since he first saw him. Tanjiro, it's just an illness, nothing more. The doctors say there's no cure for me with this thing, said the older redhead, half sad. Izuku, allow me, said the green-haired boy, searching for something in his backpack that he always carried with him. Takeo, hey Izuku-san, what are you looking for? The black-haired boy asked with great doubt. Izuku, aha, here it is, good thing I didn't lose it. Well, Kamado-san, please drink this, trust me, said the green-haired boy, giving him a chemical infusion unknown to all of them. Nezuko, Izuku-san, what exactly is that? The younger black-haired girl asked, looking at the cure. Izuku, well, from what little I can still remember, this is a potion that heals wounds, physical and mental illnesses. Well, that's all I can remember right now, said the green-haired boy, pleasantly surprising everyone present. Tanjiro, so that could cure my illness? The older redhead asked the greenhead, who then gave him the healing potion. Izuku, yes please, trust me and drink it, Kamado-san, said the green-haired boy, looking at him with his cure in his hands and the aforementioned side, finally removing the cork and starting to drink it. Tanjiro, hey, it doesn't taste so bad, said the man, then felt a slight tingling sensation and began to rejuvenate a little, becoming like he was before his illness. His skin pigmentation normalized and finally he was able to see himself. Just imagine him with a serious, calm expression. Kai, Tanjiro-kun, is that why you? The older black-haired woman asked, going towards her husband and touching his face. Sumiko, dad, is it really you? The redhead asked, confused. Nezuko, dad, you're healed, how wonderful, said the younger black-haired girl, hugging him as did Sumiko. Takeo, you're cured, dad, it's wonderful, said the black-haired man calmly, hugging him as did Kai and his sisters. Hanako/Shidru/Rokuta, mom/brother/sisters, who is that man over there? They asked, confused by what they saw. Kai, children, this is your father before the incurable disease he had, said the older black-haired woman with great happiness upon learning that her husband would not die from that disease. Hanako/Shidru/Rokuta, dad, they all said in surprise and went to hug their father. Sumiko/Kai/Nezuko, thank you Izuku, thank you, they said, crying with joy towards Izuku and the aforementioned approaching the Kamado family. Izuku, it's nothing, I'm always happy to help, said the green-haired boy, almost leaving the Kamado family to their business, but then he was pulled by his right arm towards them all and made to join the hug. Sumiko/Nezuko, thank you Izuku-kun, said both girls, hugging the green-haired boy a little tighter. 14 minutes later they had all broken apart from the hug and each of them thanked a saddened Izuku. Tanjiro, well, let's all go to sleep, said the older redhead, looking out the window and noticing that it was night. Izuku, yeah, well, I'll sleep on the living room floor, so rest in your rooms, today must have been a lot for all of you, said the green-haired boy, leaving his backpack on the floor. Kai, no, you will absolutely not sleep on the floor, you will share a room with Nezuko and Sumiko, said the older black-haired girl happily. Izuku, I don't think it's necessary, said the green-haired boy, only to be interrupted by the older Kamado sisters. Nezuko/Sumiko, we're very happy with the decision, Mom, they both said, blushing. Nezuko left a sleeping Rokuta with her mother, and both girls carried a blushing Izuku to his room in their arms. Tanjiro, I hope they don't do what I think they're going to do, said the older redhead, watching where they were going. Kai, don't worry about that, you and I already know them very well, and besides, you don't want the husband of one of your daughters to be Izuku, the one who achieved the impossible with you, said the older black-haired woman, smiling like Shinobu, looking at her husband. Tanjiro, well, yes, but if they're going to do it, they should wait until they're adults and married, said the older redhead, heading towards his room. Kai, yes, well, children, time for bed, said the older black-haired woman to her children, the other Kamado, yes, they all said before going to sleep, in Nezuko and Sumiko's shared room. Izuku, oh god, what have I got myself into? Asked the green-haired boy as he looked at the ceiling, blushing and being hugged by both arms, Sumiko on the right and Nezuko on the left. End of chapter. Prologue. What happened? Chapter 1, Getting to know the Kamado. The narrator narrates. Well, you could see Izuku Midoriya asleep while he was dreaming about the Kamado girls, who were blushing and hugging the green-haired boy, dreaming about some pretty naughty things, and what they were dreaming about was the dream of the Kamado sisters, dreams of Sumiko Kamado in a cabin. Sumiko, hello Izuku-kun, she said, blushing in the bed that seemed to be a couple's bed and wearing a slightly revealing outfit as if they were on their honeymoon. Imagine him in this kimono. Izuku, hey babe, get ready for what's coming, gorgeous, said the now adult green-haired man, walking slowly and sensually towards her, half naked until he reached her double bed, and when they were face to face they shared a long kiss. Izuku, besides being beautiful, you kiss so well, gorgeous. I want us to get together right now, yes, but if you want, let's go at your pace, said the smiling, blushing green-haired boy, touching her all over. His hands explored every part of the redhead's body. Sumiko, why yes, Izuku-kun, I want to feel all of you inside me too, make me yours, let's be together for life, Izuku-kun, said the blushing redhead, kissing the green-haired boy and letting out small moans of pleasure, making Midoriya Izuku happy and excited. Izuku, as you wish, Mrs. Midoriya, said the green-haired boy, kissing her all over before ending the dream. End of Sumiko Kamado's dream, Nezuko's dream in a different cabin than the previous one. Izuku, hello dear, dinner is ready, said the green-haired boy in his green kimono with some lime details. He decided to enter the cabin while carrying cut wood in one hand and the axe in the other with an innocent smile. Nezuko, yes honey, leave the wood and the axe there, go wash your hands and tell the children they're in their room, said the black-haired woman, looking at him affectionately, and Izuku went to do as Nezuko asked. In Nezuko and Izuku's children's room. Izuku, kids, time to eat, oh kids, go to the kitchen for dinner, said the green-haired boy with a smile towards his children. Yes, Dad, they both said happily to Izuku. I'll leave their names to your imagination. Izuku, okay, let's go now. Their mom must be waiting for us in the kitchen, said the green-haired boy, heading towards the kitchen followed by his children. They arrive at the cabin's kitchen. Nezuko, oh, you're here, that's good. Wash your hands and then sit down to eat, said the black-haired girl affectionately towards them. They washed their hands and sat down at the table. Izuku, this is delicious, honey, said the green-haired boy to the black-haired girl, and she was happy. Nezuko, yes, thank you, Izuku-kun, said the black-haired girl, looking at him affectionately. End of Nezuko Kamado's dream. Izuku Midoriya's dream in a destroyed warfield and flooding darkness. Izuku, oh crap, how did we end up in all this, said the green-haired boy, running through the completely dark place, while this place was illuminated by the rays, giving Izuku the opportunity to attack the being that was going to attack him. Don't think you're going to stop us completely, we always find a weakness in your facilities always, said a being resembling a distorted shadow. Izuku, no, whenever you try to escape, I will always be there to stop your influence and protect humanity, said the green-haired boy, looking at him with extreme anger. Hehehe, good luck, soldier, said the being, then created a strange plant and attacked Midoriya. Izuku, he said before receiving the attack from that strange thing. End of Izuku Midoriya's dream, end of the narration. Izuku, said the green-haired boy, then got up very scared from the bed, thus waking up the Kamado sisters who were sleeping with the green-haired boy. Sumiko, Midoriya-san, are you alright, said the red-haired girl, looking at him confused and worried. Nezuko, yes, Midoriya-san, what happened, she asked, equally confused, looking at him closely. To her, he was sweating a little. Izuku, and no, girls, don't worry, it's nothing bad, I just had a nightmare, said the green-haired boy, smiling nervously. Sumiko, it's okay now, poor thing, you had a terrible nightmare. If you want, you can come and sleep with me, Midoriya-san, said the red-haired girl, blushing and affectionately hugging the green-haired boy, making him blush a little in the process. Nezuko, hey Sumiko one-chan, you seem to be very affectionate with him, aren't you, said the black-haired girl jealously with her innocent smile and trying to separate them, but Sumiko did not give in easily and Nezuko settled herself on the left arm of the green-haired boy. Izuku, why don't we try to get some sleep yet, tomorrow will be a new day, hehe, said the green-haired boy nervously, waiting for the Kamado sisters' response. Sumiko, yes, Midoriya-san, you're absolutely right, said the red-haired girl, blushing and going to bed with the green-haired boy, as did Nezuko. Nezuko, yes, now that Dad's better, let's go back to making charcoal to sell in the nearby village, said the black-haired girl, taking the green-haired boy to bed, and he played along because he wanted to fall asleep as quickly as possible. Izuku, do you make charcoal to sell? Izuku asked, since he thought they were a farming family because he saw some crops growing in them. Sumiko, yes, we make and sell charcoal to the village to survive, and now with Dad it will be much easier, said the redhead happily, looking at Izuku. Izuku, wow, this sounds interesting. I'll help you with this tomorrow so you can all relax, said the green-haired boy innocently to the two Kamado girls. Nezuko, well, it's time to sleep now, said the black-haired girl, then received a nod from the two of them who imitated her action. The next morning on Kamado Mountain. Sumiko/Nezuko, good morning Izuku-kun, they both said, confused at not seeing the green-haired boy with them. Sumiko, hey big sister, do you know where Izuku-kun is? The redhead asked her younger sister. Nezuko, I don't know, one-chan, maybe she's outside, said the black-haired girl, turning to look at the red-haired girl outside the room and cabin in the mountain. Tanjiro, well, let's get to work, said the older redhead, only to be interrupted and stopped by a green-haired man. Izuku, Kamado-san, you should be at home even though the potion cured you. That doesn't mean you should risk going out, especially in this weather, said the green-haired boy, looking at him and approaching him, speaking to him as if he were his doctor. Tanjiro, hehe, don't worry, Midoriya showman, this is part of my duty, and well, I've been at the house for a long time, said the older red-haired man to Izuku. Izuku, no, I know he has experience with this, but it's not good to be completely overconfident, believe me, said the green-haired boy, sounding a bit serious. Tanjiro, well, if you'd like, you can come with me to make sure nothing bad happens to me, and you can also help me with the wood, said the older redhead to Midoriya, who accepted the deal. In the cabin, Sumiko, Oka-san, what are Otto-san and Midoriya-san about to do, said the red-haired girl, looking at them from afar. Kai, calm down, your dad's going to cut wood to make and sell charcoal, and I think Izuku's going to help him, said the black-haired girl, turning to look at her and noticing that she was staring at Midoriya a lot. Kai, don't worry, Midoriya will protect your dad, said the black-haired girl, calming the red-haired girl down a little. Nezuko, I'm so glad to know that dad will be fine with Midoriya's company, said the black-haired girl to her mother and sister. Kai, okay girls, help me in the kitchen so everything will be ready when they arrive, said the dark-haired woman, receiving a nod from her older daughters. Nezuko/Sumiko, yes, they both said and went to help their mother with what she had asked, deep in the forest. Izuku, well, which one do we start with? Izuku asked Tanjiro. Tanjiro, I think this is fine, look, you push the tree to your left while I chop it down with my axe, okay? Said the red-haired man, explaining to Midoriya Izuku. Izuku, it's better if you leave it to me, please, you shouldn't overexert yourself, Kamado-san, Izuku said to Tanjiro, who raised an eyebrow in confusion. Tanjiro, hey, don't treat me like I'm an 84-year-old man, but if you want, you can do the job yourself, Midoriya showman, said the red-haired man, handing the axe to Izuku. Izuku, thanks, here I go, said the green-haired boy, already preparing to swing the axe at the tree. Tanjiro, I don't think he can do it on the first try, said the older redhead, confidently, underestimating Izuku. Izuku, get down, said the green-haired boy, then threw the slash and scared the older red-haired boy as Izuku cut him in one swift motion. Tanjiro, wh what, but how? That tree trunk was 1/2 meter wide and 8 meters long. He thought to himself and got even more scared when Izuku carried the whole trunk as if it were nothing, as if it were paper. Izuku, all right, let's go, I don't trust the weather here, Kamado-san, said the green-haired boy, heading towards the cabin while carrying the entire tree as if it were made of papier-mâché. Tanjiro, why yes, said the red-haired man, following him in fear and wishing his older daughters that they would at least be able to walk when they had their own sons or daughters in the future. Back to the Kamado house. Kai, well done, girls, this is how you should behave and treat your husband, and he'll be your lapdog for all eternity, said the dark-haired woman, teaching her daughters how to treat their lapdog, husband, Sumiko, wow, Oka-san, you have a lot of wisdom, said the redhead with stars in her eyes, looking at her mother. Nezuko, yes mom, hey, isn't that Midoriya-san and dad, said the black-haired girl, turning to look northeast, and the others turned to look, then were surprised by what they saw. Hanako, hey, Midoriya-san is carrying that whole tree trunk like it's nothing, said the youngest daughter and her siblings, also scared, with their mouths open and a bead of sweat on the back of their necks. Takeo, it seems so, said the dark-haired man, shocked. Rokuta, what exactly is Midoriya-san, asked the black-haired boy, being carried, scared as he watched the scene. Shidru, I don't know, brother, but I'm grateful that we're friends and not his enemies, said the black-haired man with a huge bead of sweat on the back of his neck. Tanjiro, we're here, Kaihihi, can we talk alone for a while, said the older redhead, looking scared and leading his wife away. Okay kids, I'll be right back, said the black-haired girl, almost being dragged away by a frightened Tanjiro. Sumiko, Midoriya-san, that oak tree trunk doesn't weigh you down, said the red-haired girl, blushing, then received a no from the green-haired boy. Izuku, really no, where did you put this so I can start cutting down the whole tree? The green-haired boy asked, waiting for Nezuko to tell him where it was. Nezuko, yes, it's that way, the turn to the right of the house, said the black-haired girl, then Izuku took the tree in the direction Nezuko indicated. Sumiko/Nezuko, we won't be able to walk for a while, it seems, they both thought to themselves, their faces showing absolute concern for the future of their hips. Inside the cabin in the attic. Oh my daughters, I hope they'll be able to walk when they have their own children with Midoriya-san, said the black-haired woman, a little worried about Sumiko and Nezuko. Tanjiro, yes, I hope they can at least give birth, said the older redhead, worried about his daughters. End of Chapter 1, Getting to Know the Kamado. Chapter 2, Izuku lives with the Kamado family and a tragedy occurs. The narrator narrates. We found a green-haired boy in the living room eating ramen with Sumiko and Nezuko. After living with Midoriya for 2.5 years, these two decided to share him between them because if one of them stayed with the green-haired boy, the other would resent it. So they decided to talk to Izuku about it to see if he would accept them both. End of the narration. Izuku, so girls, what did you want to talk about here in the living room? Said Izuku with his characteristic smile, making both girls blush. Imagine her wearing Tanjiro's traditional plaid kimono. Sumiko, well, you see, Izuku-kun, she said, blushing and looking into Izuku's eyes. Nezuko, yes Izuku-kun, we want to tell you that we love you very much Izuku-kun and we decided to share you between us. Nezuko said so fast that Izuku was surprised. Izuku, he said the green-haired boy, surprised and blushing as he looked at them. Sumiko, Izuku-kun, we know this isn't appropriate, said the red-haired girl, sounding somewhat sad. Izuku, this isn't appropriate, but I love you both very much and of course I accept you. Well then, do you accept? The green-haired boy said, at first surprising the girls but then making them very happy, so much so that they pounced on him, knocking him to the ground and climbing on top of him. Sumiko/Nezuko, are you serious? Izuku said, both girls with stars in their eyes looking at him. Izuku, yes Sumiko-chan, Nezuko-chan, I accept you both, said the green-haired boy smiling at them. Scene change in the charcoal shed. Sumiko, okay, we're done with the last one for today, said the animated redhead. Izuku, yes, it seems your family needs a little more help even though your father is healed. The air here might destroy one of his lungs, said the green-haired boy, explaining to the Kamado family. Nezuko, well, I still don't understand why dad is cured. Would the freezing mountain air harm him? Nezuko asked as she watched Midoriya carry the basket full of coal. Izuku, well, Nezuko-chan, the healing potion isn't entirely effective in places where the temperature drops to 26 degrees C. That's why, but that temperature is typical from November to early January. Your father will be able to leave the house after that, so don't worry, girls, Izuku said with his characteristic smile, calming them down. Sumiko/Nezuko, thank you for the explanation. Izuku-kun, we love you very much, said both girls, giving him a kiss on each cheek. Izuku, gee girls, he said, very embarrassed by the girl's gesture. Sumiko, well Izuku, let's go already, said the animated redhead, also carrying a basket full of coal. Izuku, hey, are you going to sell the charcoal too? Izuku asked, his eyes wide with surprise. Sumiko, yes, come on, Izuku-kun, or do you want to lose to someone who's better and more experienced than you? Said the red-haired girl, laughing at the green-haired boy as she walked towards the village. Izuku, what are you challenging me? Said the green-haired boy, smiling and speaking like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo, following her at the same pace, but his step was a little more hurried. Already in the village, coming down from the mountain. Izuku, so this is the village. It's very pretty even with the snow falling here, said the green-haired boy, smiling and looking around. Sumiko, yes, that's right, the people here are very, very calm, said the elder Kamado, looking at him with a smile. Then someone appears all beaten up. Imagine that Tanjiro is a woman. Help, Sumiko-san, it's so good you're here. Please smell this because I'm being accused of something I didn't do. The man said, almost crying from the number of blows he had, but then he gives her a broken plate to smell. Sumiko, sniff, 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 it smells like a cat, said the redhead, confused since she possesses an incredible sense of smell, even a little more acute than that of a dog. See, I told you it wasn't me, said the man to his wife, who was outside with a broken broom. Oh, said the woman, confused by the explanation. Izuku, well, let's go sell charcoal, Sumiko-chan, said the green-haired boy, taking the red-haired girl's hand, making her blush noticeably. Sumiko, why yes Izuku-kun, well then goodbye, she said, being pulled by a jealous Izuku, going a little further into the village to sell the charcoal. Ah, she already saw that Kamado-san, she already got a boyfriend, said the woman, touched by the scene. Then scenes show Izuku and Sumiko having an excellent charcoal sale. Girl X, hey, you look really handsome, I've never seen you around here before, said the girl very flirtatiously towards the green-haired boy, making him blush so much that the poor guy lowered his head, avoiding eye contact. Izuku, and no, it's just that I live in the mountains far from here, said the green-haired boy, blushing, turning away but with his head already raised. Girl X, don't be so shy, just tell me exactly where it is and I'll come visit you, said the girl, hugging him from behind in a very extremely flirtatious way. Sumiko, hey, get away from my man, bitch, said the redhead, pulling her hair and taking her away from Midoriya. Girl X, hey, what's wrong with you, said Girl X angrily. Sumiko, Izuku-kun is mine, so stay away from him, said the red-haired girl, angry with the girl who approached Izuku. Girl X, well friend, I am leaving now, said Girl X, scared and leaving the place. Sumiko, Izuku, if you need any help please ask for it, said the jealous redhead, taking Izuku by the arm. Izuku, well thanks, let's go to your house since we sold all the charcoal, said Izuku as he walked alongside Sumiko without letting go of the redhead's grip. Scene change, the mountain skirt. Sumiko, Izuku-kun, we should hurry before the night gets any darker, said the redhead, quickening her pace a little. Izuku, Sumiko-chan, we should, said the green-haired boy before being interrupted by a stranger. Hey you guys, come to my cabin, it's getting very dark and quite dangerous, said the man to the young people in the distance. Sumiko, don't worry sir, we're fine, we'll get home safe and sound, said the redhead happily. I'm not insisting, come on, believe me, this is not something to be taken lightly, said the man, insisting. Izuku, Sumiko-chan, come on, let's spend the night here, then in the morning we'll continue on our way, said the green-haired boy, taking her hand and convincing her. Sumiko, you're right, Izuku-kun, said the redhead with a sigh. Everything happened as in the original story except for Izuku's presence. Izuku, you see, Sumiko-chan, it wasn't so bad resting and she seemed very kind, said the green-haired boy to her. Sumiko, yes, she was very kind to us. Besides, I have to go help mom with a lot of things, said the redhead, happy about yesterday's sales. Izuku, yes, and besides, we have enough to sustain us for a good while, said the green-haired boy, smiling at her. They arrive at the Kamado house. Sumiko, it smells like blood, she said, running towards her house, followed by Midoriya. Izuku, if it's blood. Midoriya thought to himself, since he also had a somewhat similar ability to Sumiko's to perceive smells, but Izuku's was a little weaker than Sumiko Kamado's. The two of them find the Kamado family dead. Sumiko, said the redhead in cries of pain for the loss. Imagine it's Izuku and Tanjiro Fem behind him, mentioned above. Izuku, Sumiko-chan, Nezuko is still showing signs of life. Come on, help me take her to the village where the hospital is, said the green-haired boy so that the older Kamado could help him put her on his back. Sumiko, and your first aid kit, isn't there anything that would help us, said the redhead, desperate for her little sister. Izuku, there's no time to lose, all I have to do is get her there. If I start interfering, I could die in the process since we don't know how long she's been there. The green-haired boy explained this to the red-haired girl, and she. Sumiko, yes, you're right, let's go quickly. Izuku-kun, don't worry, sister, we'll heal you. The redhead understood what Midoriya said, and the two of them went as fast as possible back to the neighboring village in search of a doctor to heal her quickly. But then Nezuko starts to move violently against them. Nezuko, grrrrrrrg, said the black-haired girl between roars of a wild beast. She moved so much that she broke free from their grip and fell into a ravine. Izuku/Sumiko. They both screamed at the same time as they fell with Nezuko, who luckily had snowed a lot and the snow cushioned the fall of the three of them. Izuku, Sumiko-chan, Nezuko-chan, where are you, said the green-haired boy, getting up from his fall and shouting a little in pain. Sumiko, Nezuko, Izuku, Nezuko, come on, let's go, please, let's go to the village and then get Izuku-kun, said the red-haired girl, a little relieved that her sister was all right and standing in the snowy forest. Nezuko, grrrrrrrg error, said the black-haired girl, unconsciously attacking her older sister. Sumiko, Nezuko, she's a D-demon. Nezuko, please control yourself, you're stronger than this, please remember me, Nezuko, said the red-haired girl, crying over her younger sister's condition. Nezuko's sister crying in her thoughts and out of them because now she was aware of what she was doing, but then they realized that someone is arriving at an extremely fast speed. Sumiko, Nezuko, she said, kicking her younger sister away, and then they cut off a lock of the redhead's hair. Hey, what are you doing protecting a demon? The black-haired girl asked coldly and without a trace of emotion towards Sumiko. Sumiko, she is my younger sister Nezuko, and why did you try to cut my sister's throat? Sumiko yelled at the other woman. My name is Yumi Tomioka and I am a demon hunter. Now miss, it seems you are interrupting my work, said the now known as Yumi Tomioka coldly. Sumiko, no, wait, she didn't kill anyone. A demon attacked us and raided our home. I know she didn't kill them. I know she reminds me of myself, I saw it in her eyes, the redhead said, crying and explaining, a little desperate. She doesn't listen to Sumiko's words and everything happens like in the anime until Izuku arrives. Yumi, I'm so sorry, miss, but you won't be able to turn your sister back into a human, said the black-haired woman, holding Nezuko tightly and trying to break free. Sumiko, nuo, she said angrily, but before she could do anything, the green-haired boy stepped in. Izuku, that's enough, said the green-haired boy, still wearing his original outfit, and unconsciously summoned a peculiar katana. Yumi, what the, she said, only to be kicked away by Nezuko and then attacked by Izuku, who pushed her further away. Izuku, I don't intend to let you kill them, said Izuku very seriously, scaring and surprising Yumi Tomioka a little. Yumi, can't you see she's, oh no, she's going to eat him, she said, fighting Izuku. Even though Izuku was defending himself, he wasn't as experienced as Yumi, so she attacked him in a nerve, knocking him out of the fight. Izuku, said the green-haired boy, then fell unconscious. Yumi, okay, now what? She's not eating her, she's defending her, said the black-haired girl, dodging the blows of the other black-haired girl who was quite angry. Nezuko, grrrrrrrr, Nezuko said, crying as she attacked the black-haired girl in order to get her away from Sumiko and Izuku. Yumi, fine, that's enough, she said, knocking out Sumiko and Nezuko, who was also going to fight her. Everyone wakes up experiencing the same thing as in anime, with the exception of the presence of Izuku Midoriya. Yumi, find the former water pillar Urakodaki Senkoji, he lives on Mount Sajiri. Go there, he'll train you to be demon slayers if you want Nezuko to become human again and not be exposed to sunlight. The girl said this before disappearing into the mountain mist, leaving no trace. Sumiko/Izuku, Nezuko, I'm glad you're safe. Well, I think I have enough time for this, they said one after the other. Sumiko, what do you mean, Izuku-kun? Said the red-haired girl doubtfully to the green-haired boy, seeing him take something out of his backpack, a box of shulker. Izuku, Sumiko-chan, look, I need you to open Nezuko's mouth a little, please, said the green-haired boy as he searched in his backpack, then took something out. Sumiko, why Izuku-kun, she said, I don't understand anything the green-haired boy meant. Izuku, this is a fire and solar resistance potion with infinite time, don't ask how I made it, said the green-haired boy nervously to her. Sumiko, do you think it's safe? The redhead asked worriedly, receiving a yes from her Izuku-kun. Izuku, well, Sumiko-chan, I wasn't completely unconscious. But the strange thing was that I couldn't move, so I saw and heard everything. That's why I used the last bit of dragon's breath to make the stamina potion infinite, so it could protect Nezuko from the sun. Midoriya said, instructing Sumiko to do as he asked and then administering the potion to her. Sumiko, now what will happen to Nezuko? Said the redhead, looking at the unconscious black-haired girl. Izuku, don't worry, she'll be fine. The sun won't be an impediment to the trip we're going to take, said the green-haired boy and Sumiko. Sumiko, trip. Hug, said the redhead, remembering Yumi's words. Izuku, you remembered good. Let's go to your house so I can finish healing Nezuko, give your family a proper burial and salvage what's left of your resources there, said the green-haired boy, carrying Nezuko in a princess-style carrying position. Sumiko, yes, Izuku-kun, said the red-haired girl, helping him a little with Nezuko. End of Chapter 2, Izuku lives with the Kamado family and a tragedy occurs. Chapter 3, Izuku, Sumiko and Nezuko's journey to Urakodaki Senkoji. The narrator narrates. After the events surrounding the Kamado family's death, Izuku, Sumiko and Nezuko planned and embarked on a journey to Mount Sajiri. The black-haired huntress had told them to go there and to keep Nezuko safe, but Izuku made Nezuko immune to sunlight, giving Sumiko and Nezuko a considerable advantage and allowing them to travel without worry. Before continuing their journey, the three decided to visit the Kamado cabin to bury and pray for the deceased. They buried them, gathered their belongings, and left, as it was still daytime but less cloudy. End of the narration. Izuku, alright, let's continue our journey to Mount Sajiri. Sumiko-chan, Nezuko-chan. The green-haired boy approached the two girls and they. Sumiko, hi, was all the redhead said, followed by her younger sister still holding the bamboo in her mouth. Nezuko, let's see, how do I get this out? She said, then tried to remove the bamboo from her mouth but was interrupted by Sumiko Kamado, who explained the reason for the bamboo and why she shouldn't remove it. Sumiko, did you understand, Nezuko? Said the redhead, then received a nod from Nezuko in the form of a yes. Sumiko, okay, said the redhead, then looked at Izuku, and finally she and her younger sister hugged the green-haired girl, making him blush in the process. Izuku, well girls, let's go, said the green-haired boy nervously, quickening his pace a little more with the two Kamado girls. Sumiko, hey Izuku-kun, I have a question about the potion you gave Nezuko. What exactly is it made of? Said the red-haired girl, and he turned to look at her to tell her. Izuku, well, Sumiko-chan, the magic potion I gave her was one with fire and solar resistance. All I can tell you is that it's made from magma cream from the Nuchitiro volcano. A volcano in the north. Maybe I wasn't much help to you, but we won't have to deal with traveling at night and with more demons. Since the girl is right, it was absolutely necessary to apply this to her, Sumiko-chan, said the green-haired boy, explaining the reason in more detail to the red-haired girl, who understood and also asked him. Sumiko, hey, do you think that magic potion has any side effects if you drink it? Said the redhead, also being supported by Nezuko. Nezuko, I wonder the same thing as my sister, said the black-haired girl to the little boy. Izuku, well, it's not entirely harmful, but even if you're completely immune, the disadvantage you might experience is a bit of fatigue from being so agitated in the sun, said the green-haired boy, explaining the last question to both women. Sumiko/Nezuko, I understand now, both parties said, still hugging Izuku Midoriya. Izuku, well girls, if you don't have any more questions, let's continue walking. Why yes, said the green-haired boy, turning into a strawberry due to his freckles, making him look kawaii to the two Kamado girls. Sumiko/Nezuko, hi, both girls said in response to Izuku. Scene change on the road of a farming village in a cave. Izuku, well girls, let's rest a bit and recount the current supplies, said the green-haired boy, sitting down with the Kamado girls and finally checking his backpack. Sumiko, hi, said the red-haired girl, being helped by her younger sister as she carried her supplies in a backpack made of adult deer leather, since her father made it for her when she was 4 years old, and Nezuko also had a similar one, but it was made of wolf leather. Nezuko, hi, said the black-haired girl, helping her sister who was also helping her. Izuku, good, I still have enough food for about 2 more months. And you? Said the green-haired boy, closing his backpack and asking about the two girls. Sumiko, if I still have enough for the month and Nezuko also has enough for the whole month, then let's not worry about that, said the redhead, nodding to confirm. Nezuko, yes, we didn't think it was a bad idea to rest here for a bit, said the black-haired girl, yawning while still having the bamboo in her mouth and finally falling asleep right there without any problems. Sumiko, Nezuko, what's wrong with my sister Izuku-kun? She asked, a little upset by the current situation. Izuku, don't worry, Sumiko-chan, said the green-haired boy calmly as he took Nezuko a little further into the cave. Sumiko, what do you mean don't worry, Izuku? My sister just fainted on the floor and you're telling me not to worry, said the redhead, scolding Izuku Midoriya, and he replied. Izuku, I already told you that he gets a little tired in sunlight. The more he's in the sun, the more tired he'll get, and it's recommended that he be in the dark or in the shade so that he recovers quickly. said the green-haired boy, explaining it again to the girl, and she remembered the explanation. Sumiko sighs deeply. Okay, so what do we do now? I mean, I don't think it's a good idea to wait until nightfall, Izuku-kun, said the redhead, giving him a truly important reason. Izuku, well, Sumiko-chan, let's go to the village near here and see, said the green-haired boy, wrapping Nezuko up and heading to the village with Sumiko, in the farming village. Izuku, well, it seems we've arrived, Sumiko-chan, said the green-haired boy, looking around the area where they were. Sumiko, yes, hey look, someone, let's see if they can tell us where we can get something to transport Nezuko, said the redhead happily as she and Izuku went to ask the villager. Villager X, Tarataran Tarulin, said the man while he was tending to the crops and then stopped for a couple of boys. Sumiko, hello, good afternoon, Mr. Farmer. My friend and I were wondering if you have or know anyone who, said the red-haired girl, asking the man before being interrupted by Midoriya. Izuku, that she could sell us a large basket, something like this, said the green-haired boy, showing Sumiko Kamado a photo and at the same time placing her behind him. Imagine that Nezuko isn't there. Farmer X, looking at the photograph. Izuku, aha, well, does he know who has one of these or not? The green-haired boy said seriously to the man and Sumiko. Sumiko, what on earth is wrong with Izuku-kun? The redhead thought nervously and a little excitedly, but before she could say anything, the farmer spoke. Farmer X, oh yes, I happen to have one if you want one, said the guy kindly to the green-haired man, and he changed his hostile attitude a little to a calm one. Izuku, yes, and how much do you want for that basket? The green-haired boy asked the man. GX. Farmer X, actually it's broken, so I'm giving it away. The basket doesn't serve any purpose for me, said the farmer, bringing it to the protagonists. Izuku, ah, thank you, sir, said the green-haired boy, taking the basket, but the dark-eyed girl intervened. Sumiko, thank you, sir, let me pay for the basket with our money, said the girl politely, and Izuku turned to look at her. GX, it's not necessary to do that, miss, said the man, continuing with his daily tasks. Sumiko, I'm not insisting on paying you for the basket, Mr. Farmer, she said, taking out a few coins. GX, it's not necessary, take it and take as much straw and bamboo as you want, said the man, turning to look at both of them. Sumiko, I'll pay you, she said, approaching the man but at the same time maintaining a distance between them. Izuku, hey Sumiko-chan, I think you should listen to her, don't you? I mean, she's giving us everything, said the green-haired boy, not understanding the current situation. GX, yes, you better listen to your boyfriend, I don't want anything in return, said the man, already angry and shouting a little, and Izuku was already ready to land a clean punch for yelling at a girl. Sumiko, here it's not much but keep it, said the redhead, giving him the coins and taking Izuku by the arm since he had the basket, and on his journey he also took the farmer's crop straw. GX. What strange kids, he thought to himself before going to work where he was. Scene change, where did they leave Nezuko? Sumiko, ah, what a kind fellow, and you don't think so, Izuku-kun? The red-haired girl sighed and the green-haired boy asked her. Izuku, hey Sumiko-chan, why did you pay him? It looked like the man didn't want money for that basket, said the green-haired boy, confused by the situation, watching her as they walked. Sumiko, what are you saying, Izuku-kun? It's more than obvious that we had to pay him. Besides, my parents taught my siblings and me that we should be grateful to everyone, said the redhead as she carried the straw and wrapped it in a cloth she found to prevent it from getting itchy. Izuku, so it's the parents who are to blame for everything. The green-haired boy thought to himself with a nervous smile, showing a little of his teeth and a drop of sweat on the back of his neck in anime style, already in the cave where Nezuko is. Sumiko, Nezuko, we're here, said the redhead, looking for her younger sister. Izuku, ah, we're here, said the broccoli with legs and a kimono and a sigh. Sumiko, Nezuko. Nezuko, oh no, Izuku, come here, said the girl, now truly worried because she couldn't find her younger sister. Izuku, what's wrong, Sumiko-chan? The green-haired boy asked her since he saw that she was really worried. Sumiko, Izuku-kun, my sister isn't, she began, only to be interrupted by a sound in the cave. She approached to smell the scent and saw Nezuko. Nezuko, the sunlight is really strong for my taste, said the black-haired girl, looking at them, and then she was hugged by her older sister and she reciprocated. Sumiko, oh my god, Nezuko, I thought you had gone somewhere else or that someone had taken you away, said the redhead like a mother with her daughter, since she felt like that after the loss of her entire family. Nezuko, don't worry, big sister, said the black-haired girl, still hugging her. Izuku, alright girls, this is where we'll transport you. Come on, Sumiko-chan, help me fix it so we can continue our journey, said the green-haired boy, and then the Kamado girl helped him with the basket. Sumiko, yes, Izuku-kun, wait here, we'll help you. Wow, Nezuko is like a mole being in that hole she made in the cave, said the redhead, the last thought in his mind, with a mocking laugh and a drop of sweat on the back of his neck. Once the basket was finished, they decided to approach her to ask her what. Sumiko, Nezuko, get in here in the basket so you can come with us to where the girl said. Up on the mountain, said the redhead, gesturing for Nezuko to get in. Nezuko, I don't know, I went from being a free human to one in captivity, said the black-haired girl, looking in that direction, and spoke as in the anime, and apparently only Sumiko Kamado understood her. Sumiko, don't worry sister, this will only be temporary, we promise to cure you someday, but for now you must go inside, said the older Kamado so calmly that it reminded Nezuko of her mother and she decided to obey them both. Sumiko, well done Nezuko, I'm proud of you, said the redhead stroking her sister's head. Nezuko, she said immediately like a spoiled puppy and she liked that feeling a lot. Izuku, okay, we'll cover this up and let's go, said the green-haired boy, covering Nezuko with a cloth and carrying the rest of her things at the same time. Sumiko, hey Izuku-kun, don't you think it's too much for you to carry by yourself? Let me help you a little, she said, then took the green-haired boy from Nezuko's back and finished placing him on hers without any problems. Izuku, are you sure, Sumiko-chan? I don't want to push you to the limit if you can't, said the green-haired boy towards her, getting dangerously close to her lips, making her blush. Sumiko, is Izuku-kun, I can't believe you're so I mean that why you said the redhead, smoke coming from her ears and small swirls in her eyes. Izuku, hey, come on girls, we still have a mission pending, said the green-haired boy, already walking and being followed by his red-haired girlfriend. Sumiko, Izuku-kun, sniff, it smells like ouch Nezuko. She said the last part because the black-haired girl kicked the basket from inside and finally the red-haired girl started to follow the green-haired boy. Nezuko, what did I miss? She said jealously as her older sister was gaining ground on her. End of Chapter 3, Izuku, Sumiko and Nezuko's Journey to Urakodaki Senkoji. Chapter 4, The Tsugyukos of Urakodaki Senkoji. The narrator narrates. We see our three protagonists walking along the path that is already on the outskirts of the town where they came to trade with the GX. As they walked, they talked about trivial things until Sumiko Kamado decided to bring up a specific topic. She noticed that the green-haired boy was very insistent about his dreams and thoughts, at least for now. This was somewhat obvious because he had lived with Nezuko, who had told Sumiko about it. Sumiko had also noticed that during the 2 years the three of them slept together, they had observed behaviors as if they were in a constant, overwhelming nightmare. He also talked a little in his sleep, and it seemed to be a nightmare from which he could not escape unless awakened by someone from the outside or from outside his thoughts, so she decided to talk to Izuku about it. End of the narration. Sumiko, hey Izuku-kun, I wanted to ask you something I've noticed. Sorry if I took a while to do it, but the events that happened made my mind forget, said the red-eyed girl looking at him while carrying Nezuko while she listened to the conversation of the two. Izuku, Sumiko-chan, he said haltingly, explaining to the redhead as they continued walking until they reached a somewhat dense forest. Sumiko, yes, she said in the form of a question to the green-haired boy approaching him, making him a little more nervous than usual for her dress in this kimono. Izuku, well look Sumiko-chan, I don't know exactly what's wrong with me, I just know they're just some vague little memories of mine, I'm really sorry for such a poor explanation, but I swear when I have an answer to this, I'll tell you without hesitation, said the green-haired boy, sounding a little sad, but then he felt the red-haired girl's hug, making him blush intensely, and he turned to look at her. Sumiko, don't worry Izuku-kun, don't give me such a quick answer if you don't want to, said the redhead as she hugged him and unconsciously placed her breasts and soft lips on his neck. Izuku, yes, said the green-haired boy, and in the end they separated to continue their journey towards the old man of Urakodaki. Sumiko, yes, oh Izuku-kun, I really hope you're okay, I hope you're okay, she said in the form of pleading thoughts towards the green-haired boy as they both walked towards Mount Sajiri to prepare to become demon slayers to make Nezuko become human again, and that feeling was shared by both protagonists. In another area of the same place. Nuuo, my baby is growing too fast, said the strange shadow-like character watching them from behind a tree. Oh, don't be so whiny. The girl was going to grow up someday, for God's sake, said the other guy from behind a bush, and from what you can see, the two of them are not touching the ground or terrain but are levitating very slightly. I hate you, said the shadow, crying for Sumiko in a comical way. Scene change, arriving at Sajiri Mountain at night. Sumiko, it seems we've arrived at Sajiri Mountain, said the red-haired girl while looking at Midoriya Izuku. Izuku, yes Sumiko-chan, it seems we've arrived, said the green-haired boy as they both looked around and walked through the place. Sumiko, we arrived at night, but we arrived now, we must find this Urakodaki guy before it gets any darker, let's go Izuku-kun, she said a little more relaxed but at the same time going to look for the old man or ex-pillar as quickly as possible, but Izuku stops her by grabbing her hand. Sumiko, what's wrong? Asked the redhead as she saw him observing the area with some caution. Izuku, wait Sumiko-chan, first, we're in the forest at night, and second, we need to think this through because we don't know exactly where the former pillar is, said the green-haired boy while looking around the area as much as possible in a worried tone, because he didn't want to lose either of them since he had already lost what he considered his new family, the Kamado family. Sumiko, well, if Izuku-kun sniff, I smell fire nearby, said the red-haired girl, sniffing northeast of the mountain, and if there is fire, that means there is a human presence nearby. Izuku, well done Sumiko-chan, let's go then. said the green-haired boy, taking her hand and leading her towards where she had come from. She decided to take the lead and guided him to where she was. Sumiko feels a slightly abrupt movement. And Nezuko, do you want to come out? Fine, she said, letting go of Midoriya a little and opening the basket, removing the cloth on top, and the younger black-haired girl came out to hug Izuku. Izuku, hehe, I'm so glad to see you, Nezuko-chan, said the green-haired boy, smiling peacefully. Sumiko Kamado. Sumiko, alright Nezuko, Izuku, let's continue our journey, said the Kamado girl, taking Nezuko, and Izuku saw the scene and finished following her, not before sighing like the protagonist he is. In the house in the woods, the narrator narrates. We see the main characters walking along a forest path, which appears to have been made by humans. The three of them notice a traditional Japanese cabin in the distance and decide to approach it to ask for directions and possibly more information about someone named Urakodaki Senkoji, if the house isn't his. The protagonists arrive, but according to Izuku, it doesn't seem normal for a house to be so deserted and so far from the village. Not even the Kamado family lived so far from their village, according to the green-haired boy. Sumiko and Nezuko Kamado notice something that chills them to the bone, blood spilled on the floor of the house. They decide to draw their weapons. Izuku draws his green-bladed katana from which small particles resembling miniature faces emerge. Sumiko draws her iron axe and her breath shows faint sparks of fire as she breathes, sounding uneasy. Nezuko becomes very aggressive. His veins were bulging with anger and his gaze changed to that of a wild cat like a tiger. Well, let's continue with the story. End of the narration. Izuku, girls, be careful please, said the green-haired boy in a low voice to the two of them and advanced with his katana in his hands. Sumiko, yes, said the redhead seriously in the face of the situation. Nezuko, yes, I'm going to kick the ass of the jerk who did this myself, said the black-haired girl in the way she says in the anime. Note, the dialogues are my own ideas and subject to copyright restrictions. Some things aren't in the anime but they are in this book. End of note. Izuku, hello, but what? Said the green-haired boy as he peeked inside the house and saw something that was worthy of easily vomiting the breakfast that Sumiko made him, not to offend but he saw a person eating a family. DX Demon X, who dares to enter my territory, said the DX turning around to look behind him and finding the three protagonists. Sumiko, he ate a W woman and a child, said the older Kamado, scared and disgusted by the scene. Nezuko, angry face dagger, now you're really screwed you little devil, said Nezuko, angry at the actions of this being like any other. DX, but look, we have three more here to eat, perfect for me, said the demon, going to attack the three of them, but he took into account Nezuko, who kicked him and ripped off his head. Sumiko, what? She ripped her head off her body with a single blow, said the redhead, surprised by the strength of her younger sister, now a demon, and analyzing everything in her thoughts. Everything happened like in the anime until Urakodaki appeared. Sumiko, he's trapped there with my axe, said the redhead as she saw the demon waking up from the blow Sumiko had given him. DX, damn it. I think my body fell and died. You come here since I can't come to you, come wretched said the demon angrily at the redhead, who hid behind Izuku so he could shoot the demon with his Tesla gun, causing it to explode all over the place. Izuku, learn not to be such a loudmouth, my friend, and especially don't insult Sumiko-chan, said the green-haired boy as he shot him in the head and the remains vanished, leaving nothing of the demon behind. Well, that method is rarely used among us in my experience, said the man with a Tengu mask, watching everything and scaring the others who were there. Izuku, shit, said the green-haired boy, disintegrating the Tesla gun and reattaching it to his body again to hide it from the stranger. Sumiko, who are you? Asked the redhead while looking into his eyes confused. I am Urakodaki Senkoji to you, said the old man, already known as the one they were looking for during the journey. Izuku, what? He was the one we've been looking for all this time, said the green-haired boy, confused by what was happening now. Urakodaki, approaching a confused Sumiko Kamado. Sumiko, she said the last part in a scream because Urakodaki slapped the redhead, holding her left cheek in pain. Izuku, hey, what gives you the right to attack her? Said the green-haired boy, lunging to attack him, but he couldn't land a single blow, surprising him a little. Urakodaki, wow, you protect her a lot, the old man said questioningly to the green-haired man, and he replied, Izuku, and what's it to you? If I defend her, yes or number, said the green-haired boy angrily, and the old man uses a karate technique, making him fall to the ground, but the green-haired boy recovers and stands up again. Urakodaki, that's not enough, said the old man, disappearing from their sight and confusing them both. Sumiko, and where is Nezuko? The red-haired girl asked, looking around worriedly, as did the green-haired boy. Izuku, look, it's there, said the green-haired boy, pointing to the cabin, and the red-haired girl saw the youngest girl enter the place. These two decided to go there. Sumiko, Nezuko, it's good that you're here, come on, get in the basket and let's get out of here, said the red-haired girl as she went to get the basket, and the black-haired girl decided to get in there. Nezuko, okay, I'm coming, one-chan, said the younger black-haired girl, because even though she was immune to the sun, it caused her to feel a bit dizzy in her head. Izuku, all right, ready, let's go then. The green-haired boy asked the two of them and they said that they were ready. Behind the house, the dead already buried by Urakodaki Senkoji. The three future hunters, observing the old man, he stepped aside, noticing that they were watching him and stood up to talk to the three of them at the same time. Urakodaki, you already know my name and I am an ex-pillar, said the man, explaining who he was. Sumiko, Mr. Urakodaki, we ask you to train us to be demon slayers, said the red-haired girl, explaining the situation to him, and he decides to train them and the four of them start running with the old man towards his house. Izuku, damn, for an old man of almost 72 years he has good speed, it really surprises me, and besides that, said the green-haired boy, watching him run and trying to imitate him, but it was a little difficult. Sumiko, besides, he doesn't make any noise when he runs, and it's quite strange because there are many branches and leaves and he doesn't make any noise at all. The red-haired girl thought to herself as she carried Nezuko on her back and made the same promise about the kimono as in the anime. Urakodaki, we're here, said the old man curtly to the two protagonists, and they, tired, said. Izuku/Sumiko, we already passed your test, they both said in unison, very exhausted. Urakodaki, what do you say? The test is about to begin and I also accept you as my disciples, the old man said to the two protagonists. Speak, both of you. Izuku/Sumiko. They both said before falling over in anime style, everything like in the anime regarding mountain training. Izuku, phew, that was a bit heavy even for me and for you, how was Sumiko-chan? Said the green-haired boy sitting on his own bed, and Sumiko went towards him. Sumiko, yes, but our motivation is to make Nezuko fully human again, and also, said the redhead as she sat next to the green-haired boy, touching his semi-defined muscles until she touched a very private part for anyone who knows 18. Izuku, hehe, Sumiko-chan, see, could you not touch there please, hehe, said the green-haired boy, blushing at the older Kamado's action. Sumiko, hehe, no, Izuku-kun, Urakodaki-sensei isn't on top of the three of us right now, so we have the day off today, the red-haired girl said flirtatiously to the green-haired boy, rubbing his private area faster. Nezuko, excuse me, am I interrupting something? Said the younger black-haired girl angrily, surprising both protagonists. My followers who like 18 buck off, they said in the style of go to hell. Sumiko/Izuku, hehe, hello sister, hello Nezuko-chan, I didn't know you were here. Both sides said nervously to the black-haired girl who was looking at them with a semi-neutral aura. End of Chapter 4, The Tsugukos of Urakodaki Senkoji. Chapter 5, Izuku x Sumiko Nezuko, a hunter's love. Tell me which of the Tanjiro fem is your favorite note. This is for Izuku Midori. The narrator narrates. The three protagonists can be seen training on the mountain, but only one young man is visible with his dark green-bladed katana, a recently discovered weapon. The other two have katanas borrowed from Urakodaki. These three were training hard on the mountain with Nezuko, who had awakened and was focused on helping her sister and Izuku. The sun didn't affect her because it was a cloudy day, making it pleasant for the black-haired. Meanwhile, they and their master had spent 2 whole years in their demon slayer training, giving them ages of Izuku. 18 years old 7W7, Sumiko. 17 years old Nezuko. 14 years old, well, she's the same age since she's a demon and demons don't age anyway. Back to reality, these three were training to try and break a giant rock with their katanas, as their sensei had told them before disappearing that it was their final test to qualify for the final selection. He told them what it was all about too, but for the protagonists, although it seemed easy, it really wasn't, since they spent a day and a half without any success in even scratching him. At that point, they decided to stop for a while and think about how they would do it. Since Urakodaki told them that if they broke the swords, he would break their ribs as punishment, although Izuku didn't take the threat very seriously, he felt an indescribable discomfort and terror inside, not because of his sensei's threat, but because of something or someone else, and in the end he decided to obey the old man to avoid any more problems than he already had. End of the narration. The three of them sat together on some rocks and talked. Sumiko, Hugh, that rock is much harder than I thought and we have to break it before the final choice like Urakodaki-sensei told us, the redhead thought to herself, as she was really tired from her sensei's last test. Nezuko, besides, there must be a slightly faster way to break it, otherwise we won't make it in time, sister Izuku-kun, said the black-haired girl in her mum way, looking at her sister and their secret love. Izuku, yes, but according to what I understand, which I'm slowly regaining, everything has a breaking point, so I don't know about you, but I'm going to continue with the rock girls, said the green-haired boy to both women with a smile and incredible determination, also managing to motivate them a little more. Sumiko/Nezuko, yes, Izuku-kun, don't worry, we'll make it / yes, Izuku-kun will break that annoying rock, said both girls, motivated with stars in their eyes and a little blushed by the green-haired boy's smile and determination. Then 2 mysterious girls appear in the protagonist's area. Ah, you still haven't managed to destroy the rock, asked a black-haired woman the size of Sumiko. Apparently not my Komo-chan, said a pink-haired girl with a mask like the other one, but her face wasn't visible yet. Izuku, excuse me, but who are you two? The green-haired boy asked the two girls in front of him, and they answered him instinctively. Makomo, oh sorry, we are Makomo, and she, the pink-haired one, is Sabita, said the black-haired girl, calmly introducing herself to the three protagonists. Sabita, hello, was all the pink-haired girl said with her white fox mask, coldly observing everyone present. Nezuko, and what are you doing here? The younger black-haired girl asked the two of them. Makomo, Sabita. What did she say? They both asked since they didn't understand the way our dear lowly Nezuko spoke. Sumiko, she's saying, what exactly are you doing here? Said the redhead as Nezuko nodded and looked at the two women, surprised. Makomo/Sabita, wait, do you understand what she's saying? They both asked the redhead and she nodded, indicating that she did understand. Makomo, okay, but I have a question, she said to the two protagonists, still puzzled. Izuku, yes, and what would your question be, ladies? Said the green-haired boy, confused by Makomo's attitude and becoming a little more alert double. Sabita, why does he have a bamboo in his mouth? Said the pink-haired girl, stealing the question from her younger sister, who was still smiling in the place. Izuku, this day is going to be long, said the green-haired boy with a face like Jiu Tomioka's, in other words, a tired attitude. Scene change, everything happened as in the anime, obviously with the changes already made in the fanfic at Uraraka-sensei's house. Izuku, alright girls, I'm really glad to hear you've settled your differences, said the green-haired boy, looking a bit bruised. Why? Because the protagonist decided to intervene in their fight after they found out Nezuko was a demon. Anyway, let's continue with the story. Sabita, yes, we understand, do you? Said the pink-haired girl seriously and finally asked her the name of the green broccoli protagonist. Izuku Midoriya, at your service, Sabita-chan. Said the green-haired boy, introducing himself very innocently to the pink-haired girl's reaction, who was already blushing at the honorific of Chan. Sabita, whatever, said the pink-haired girl, turning to look elsewhere in the style of Vegeta, with Bulma always blushing, making the others jealous. Sumiko/Nezuko, was all they said, accompanied by an aura of death towards the scene of Midoriya and Sabita, making both of them very nervous. Makomo, well. And we're also very sorry for hitting you so hard, said the black-haired girl, apologizing for the brief attack on the green-haired boy for interfering in their argument. Izuku, and nothing's wrong, I forgive you, don't worry, said the green-haired boy, a little scared by remembering that scene. Makomo, thank you, Midoriya-san, she said happily with a smile from ear to ear towards the green-haired boy, making him blush massively in this way. Scene change here, everyone has already broken their own rocks and Izuku Midoriya invented a new breathing technique with his katana. Sumiko, thank you for your advice, Makomo-chan and Sabita-chan, said the redhead while eating with everyone present. Nezuko, thanks to you two, we were finally able to break our own rocks. Thank you so much, said the black-haired woman in her own way, looking at Uraraka's two adopted daughters. Izuku, yes, thank you very much, girls, without you we wouldn't have finished this on time, said the green-haired boy with his characteristic smile, also eating peacefully with the others. Makomo/Sabita, you're welcome, girls, and Izuku-kun. They both said happily, also enjoying the soup that the ex-pillar prepared for them. Uraraka, well done, children, although I didn't think you would achieve it so easily, I am equally proud of all of you, said the old man to all of them before getting up from his place. Everyone present, thank you, Uraraka-sensei, they all said respectfully to their teacher before seeing that he. Uraraka, look, I'm going to a city to have your katanas made for the final selection. I'll be gone this afternoon and will return in the morning, said the old man to his students and began to prepare to leave the place for now. Sabita, if we understand correctly, Uraraka-sensei, don't worry, we will behave well while you are not here. The pink-haired girl said seriously to her teacher. Uraraka, yes, behave yourselves, children, goodbye, said the gray-haired man of the place, finally leaving the house and leaving the poor green-haired boy with 4 hungry lionesses. Izuku, well, I'll wash the dishes while you all clean up the rest. The green-haired boy took all the dishes with him to wash them while the women chatted secretly behind Izuku's back. Makomo, and well, shall we begin? Said the black-haired girl mischievously in the form of a question for the other girls present. Sumiko, yes, Makomo-chan, let's go after Izuku-kun, said the red-haired girl as she sneaked up to surprise the unsuspecting green-haired boy from behind his back. Lemon skipped. Izuku, thank you all for this, I really needed it, thank you so much, said the green-haired boy, lovingly kissing each of the girls, and they passionately kissed him back. Makomo/Sabita/Nezuko/Sumiko, I don't regret anything, they all said in their thoughts, very happy and half trembling from their legs and entire bodies due to the beast that was Midoriya Izuku. Izuku, hehehe, now I feel a little lighter, said the green-haired boy, jumping a short distance off the ground in the style of a Honduran boxer, well grounded and ready for anything. Chapter 6. The Trial on Fumicase Mountain. The narrator narrates. We find ourselves in the same house, room, and bed as a green-haired boy who was sleeping peacefully. being hugged by four semi-naked girls who had smiles implying that Izuku Midoriya knew how to give them their first time 7W7, but all that would take a backseat when they all started to wake up. First, the green-haired protagonist of the book anime crossover fanfiction. Well, as we were saying, the green-haired boy was the first to wake up, and upon seeing the naked girls he blushed massively. But what he didn't expect was that they would all start waking up one after the other. End of the narration. Izuku, good morning, that's right, the girls are still sleeping, wait, girls, said the green-haired boy calmly, then let out a shout that for some reason hadn't woken up the women of the house. Makomo, good morning, Izuku-kun, said the black-haired girl as she began to get up, smiling to hug him. Izuku, she's naked, said the green-haired boy, blushing and trembling with nerves, giving the girls a grapeable image that was already beginning to awaken. Sumiko, and Izuku-kun, you didn't let the four of us sleep because we were so busy with you, said the redhead to the green-haired boy who was in love with the girls present. Nezuko, said Nezuko, nodding her head in a way that indicated yes. Sabita, yes, that's true, besides, personally I'd like to do it again, said the pink-haired girl, embarrassed but calm, looking into the emerald-eyed protagonist's eyes. Izuku, they're all naked, the green-haired boy thought to himself, and without noticing Deku Jr. began to get up. Makomo, hey Izuku-kun, are you happy or do you get excited seeing the four of us naked, said the black-haired girl as she approached to touch the green-haired boy's private parts. Izuku, please since stop, besides we should sink clean before Urakodaki-sensei arrives, said the green-haired boy nervously and also hitting the point. Nezuko/Sumiko, yes, maybe Izuku-kun is right, and besides, we don't know how long Urakodaki-sensei will take to arrive, said the red-haired girl to the other girls, and Nezuko nodded in agreement. Makomo, okay, fine, let's all clean up the mess we made, and Izuku-kun, please wash the dishes, said the black-haired girl as she told everyone what they were going to do, and Izuku, thank God today you saved me from possibly being graped today, hi, said the green-haired boy happily and grateful to the one above looking at the ceiling. Everyone present had already finished cleaning and tidying up the place. Izuku, we're finally done, girls, said the green-haired boy happily, already bathed and changed. Sumiko/Nezuko/Makomo, yes, they said, already relaxing while sitting on the chairs and on the floor. Sabita, I'm so glad Urakodaki-sensei doesn't know anything about what we did yesterday and today, right, girls? Izuku-kun, said the pink-haired girl seriously in front of the others, scaring them in the process. Izuku/Sumiko/Nezuko/Makomo, why yes, Sabita-chan, mo okay, Sabita, they all said, very scared to keep the secret of their actions. Urakodaki-senkoji arrives at the cabin. Urakodaki, hello my students, how did you behave yesterday while I was gone, said the old man with a Tengu mask calmly as he looked at the five of them. Sabita, master, there were no problems, I really appreciate your concern, said the pink-haired girl, still a little nervous even with her fox mask covering her. Her nerves were noticeable, but luckily Urakodaki didn't notice. Urakodaki, very well, use the katanas I lent you for the final selection, said the old man, leaving the new practice katanas with his Tsugyuko. All Tsugyukos, hi, they all said, motivated and preparing for the big day that is today. Everyone present was ready and about to go to the mountain. Urakodaki, hey kids, I hope you managed to pass the test, said the old man before saying goodbye to his students. Izuku, don't worry Urakodaki-sensei, you taught us everything you could, don't worry, we'll all come back, said the green-haired boy, already taking the first step towards reaching Mount Fumikase. Sumiko/Sabita/Makomo, goodbye master, goodbye, don't worry, we'll pass the test, said the girls, and Nezuko was the first to start running towards the mountain. Sumiko/Izuku, Nezuko, wait for us, said both protagonists, chasing the black-haired half-demon and half-human girl like a 3-year-old child. Urakodaki, I hope they succeed this time, it would really hurt me if I went through this again, the old Tengu thought sadly but also anxiously, wishing his 5 best students the best. Already on the road, about to reach the mountain of the final selection, everyone was talking amongst themselves. Sumiko, hey girls, do you think the final selection is going to be very difficult? The redhead said, a little worried, to the others present. Makomo, I don't know exactly, but whatever it is, we'll be prepared, said the black-haired girl while calming the red-haired girl down a little more. Sabita, I hope it really is a real challenge, said the pink-haired girl seriously and ready for the final exam. Izuku, I need to find my answer quickly, well, never mind, I'll find the answer to my question someday, said the green-haired Deku in a low voice or whispering as he always does. Sumiko, don't worry Nezuko, I swore to find the cure so you can become human again and we can repopulate the Kamado family again, said the redhead innocently with a plan in mind. Izuku, gotta go fast, said the green-haired boy as he started running alongside the girls to get to the final selection as quickly as possible and finish all this once and for all. And at last they arrived at the final selection, or Mount Fumikase itself. The protagonists see the place. Izuku, wow, so this is the famous mountain of the final selection. said the green-haired boy, amazed, looking around the place and also noticing that there were many aspiring demon slayers in the area waiting. Sumiko, very well Sumiko, you know what you have to do. The redhead thought to herself in a serious tone. Sabita, I admit I'm very happy to know that we arrived in record time, said the pink-haired girl calmly, almost giving Makomo a heart attack. Makomo, who are you and what did you do with our Sabita? She asked mockingly, making the pink-haired girl angry. She grabbed her by her right arm and finally said, Sabita, stop with the stupid jokes, Makomo. Just because you're my adopted sister doesn't mean you can interrupt me during my moments of reflection, got it? She said a little furiously towards the black-haired girl a little older than our Nezuko. Nezuko, I'm so bored here, or are they waiting for something or someone? She asked, looking at the others, some a little scared, some nervous, and others calm. Makomo, oh yeah, okay, you're our Sabita. Besides, you can't deny that Izuku-kun has already managed to tame you by force. Makomo said mockingly, and the last part she said in a low voice, meaning the information is for the two of them because by pure miracle the others didn't hear them. Sabita, shut up Makomo, those things aren't discussed in public and besides, how do you know? Said the pink-haired girl, embarrassed, but she was interrupted by the sound of a Japanese gong, thus ending the conversation between the two of them. Izuku, hey girls, it seems we should meet at that address, said the green-haired boy happily, and the other girls followed him without any hesitation because they were curious too, at the center of the final selection venue. Good evening to all of you, the aspiring demon slayers, said both women at the same time, scaring our protagonists a little. Izuku/Sumiko/Nezuko, they're a little scary, they gave me the creeps. The three of them said in their a little uncomfortable thoughts. Very well, the test is like this, said one of the girls in charge. Each of you will be assigned a unique sector on Mount Fumicase to demonstrate your skills, obviously alone, said the other girl, complimenting what the previous person in charge had said. Each of you will be sent to a different sector, and you will encounter demons captured alive, and obviously you will have to kill them in order to pass the final test, said the black-haired girl with her Annabelle smile. Your objective after passing is to reach the top of the mountain where the sun's rays are strongest. You will find us and you will definitely pass the test, said the white-haired lowly, finishing explaining the rest of the test. And now let the final selection begin, said the other lowly, still maintaining her usual voice. Izuku OK plus ultra, said the green-haired boy, happy and motivated for the test because all that training wasn't going to be for nothing. Besides, an almost imperceptible detail is that his pupils formed a green fire with skull-shaped faces. In a place on Mount Fumicase, the real test has already begun. Izuku, wow, so what is this, the big test? Said the green-haired boy, looking around the place and alert to anything. Demon X, oh look and express meal, ha 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 ha, said the demon before attacking Midoriya, but what he didn't count on was the green-haired boy's reflexes. Izuku, hey, try better next time, hehehe, are too slow, said the green-haired boy, then started to go to the top of the mountain. DX, no, damn you demon slayer, someday you will fall, that's a prom og, said the same demon, already beginning to disappear in incredible agony since Izuku's breathing is different from anyone else's. Izuku, I have to find the girls first and it has to be fast, said the green-haired boy, unconsciously activating a super speed in the purest Sonic the Hedgehog style and running in a specific direction. With Sumiko Kamado and Makomo Yurikodaki finished fighting with a horrible demon. Makomo, finally we finished off whatever that thing was, she said, a little calmer and being helped by Sumiko to stay on her feet for at least a few minutes. Sumiko, if few, rest in peace little one, and even more importantly none of them said how to completely cure my sister, aw damn it. Calm down Sumiko, calm down, said the red-haired girl in an explosion of emotions at this moment, and in the end she calmed down in her thoughts. Izuku, girls are okay, said the green-haired boy, arriving in record time, startling the two women a little. Makomo/Sumiko, EA, is Izuku-kun, how did you get here so fast? Both girls said, scared, and he tells them. Izuku, that doesn't matter girls, the most important thing is to find Nezuko and Sabita quickly so we can reach the top of the mountain and finish this as soon as possible, said the green-haired boy as he grabbed Sumiko and Makomo. DX, don't think you're going to go, said the demon before being cut off at the head by the green-haired man. Izuku, soul breathing first form, soul fire, said Midoriya. Izuku, then the demon was cut and burned in green fire. DX, and where do you think you're going, Og, he said before being cut off from Izuku's head. Izuku, what, there's another one, soul breathing first form, soul fire, said the green-haired boy, happy. Then he finished cutting off the demon's head and left with Sumiko and Makomo carrying them both princess style. Sumiko/Makomo, oh my god, how embarrassing, said both girls, ashamed of the green-haired boy's actions. Everything happened just like in the anime. Izuku found the 4 girls and they reached the top with 3 more girls joining them. Izuku/Sumiko, what? There are only 8 of us who made it B, but there were about 32 of us present. They both said, impressed by the great test and the number of those who were able to make it to the end alive. Sabita, it seems that this was the challenge I was looking for in the test. I need to train a little more than planned, said the pink-haired girl, a little worried since her training had saved her by a pure miracle. Makomo, I'm so glad to know that all this is over, at least for now, said the black-haired girl, relieved, along with Nezuko. Oh my god, I don't want to go T to that place, T to go T to go T to that place, T to go T again, said a fearful blonde who passed by pure miracle also without knowing the power she possesses. Damn, this was a bit extreme even for me, said a black-haired girl with a metal head or heavy metal haircut. How beautiful this butterfly is, said a girl who apparently was not on Earth at that moment and with her characteristic smile. We are very happy to know that you managed to pass the final selection. They both said in unison, and now what's going to happen, said the black-haired punk with a serious expression or as if angry but calm. Now it will happen that a messenger crow will be assigned to you to help you know when I have a mission, said the smiling white-haired loli. Tuscan our katanas Ninchido, said the punk girl, already angry with the pair of lolis. The Nirinchido katanas will be commissioned after your election, said the black-haired loli, equally calm. Tusk, I don't have time to be playing around, you know that. Give me my katana now. Hey, who do you think you are to, she said, now angry, grabbing the black-haired girl's hair until she turned around to see that someone had grabbed her wrist and noticed that it was the green-haired boy who was looking at her seriously. Izuku, hey miss, did you hear the two ladies in charge of the final selection? They said the Nirinchito katanas are next, said the green-haired boy seriously, making most of the women present blush. Slash Izuku's harem, who is he? He looks cute slash why do I feel so scared and embarrassed? Why now and no slash Izuku-kun, they all said blushing as they watched the scene. Huh, why is he defending her so much? Does he know her meh? Said a neutral-looking black-haired girl with purple and black eyes and a pink butterfly hair clip. Hey, you let go of me or else, said the punk girl about to slap Izuku. Izuku, calm down already, none of us did anything to you, so be quiet and let those two finish explaining what's going to happen next, said the green-haired boy, grabbing her other hand to avoid the possible slap she was going to give him, and decided to raise his voice a little more to make it clear that it was not a joke. WL, whoever you are, said the black-haired punk girl more calmly, and the green-haired boy let go of her as he moved away from her a little to give her more space to calm down. Sumiko, hey, what's wrong with you? She's armed, she could easily have attacked you with the katana, said the redhead, hitting the green-haired boy on the arm and also worried about him so much that she hugged him. Izuku, don't worry Sumiko-chan, besides, I saw that she wasn't bad at all, she just seemed a little desperate, nothing more than that, said the green-haired boy, hugging her, and by chance no one noticed the conversation and the hug between the two. Everything happened like in the anime. Each of them chose the metal for their katanas Nirinchido, and the 5 protagonists returned to their master Sankoji's house. Yurakodaki, Sniff, I'm so glad to know you made it through the final selection and returned safely, Sniff, he said through tears, as did all his Sugyuko, giving us an image of a family. Inside the house after eating and finally to their room. Izuku, ah damn it, I can't sleep tonight lately, I've been so stressed trying to understand this, what is this green fire, and the dreams are even more frequent, I need to get some answers, said the green-haired boy seriously, looking at his hand. Green fire was coming out of his breath, along with a few particles with humanoid faces that looked like they were in agony. Izuku, I need to remember who I am, where I come from, and what this breathing is. Because if my dreams are real, there's something out there that could be a real threat, even bigger than the threat that killed almost the entire Kamado family. I need to understand this quickly if I want to protect the girls I love. The green-haired boy reflected on his situation, adding the last part with a touch of bewilderment since he'd never experienced anything like this before. He then decided to go to sleep to be prepared for tomorrow. End of Chapter 6. The Trial on Fumicase Mountain.
Let me know in the comments below if you guys want the next part. Also check out my other video that has been shown and left. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and share this video. And have a fantastic day. Bye.